कोरोना महामारी के विरुद्ध चल रही जंग के बीच एक अच्छी खबर मिली है। अगले साल जुलाई तक देश में कोरोना वैक्सीन की 40 से 50 करोड़ खुराक आने और 20 से 25 करोड़ लोगों को टीकाकरण हो जाने का अनुमान है। टीकाकरण के लिए राज्यों से अक्टूबर के अंत तक प्राथमिकता सूची लेने के लिए फॉर्मेट तैयार करने को कहा गया है। केंद्रीय स्वास्थ्य मंत्री डॉक्टर हर्षवर्धन ने रविवार को यह जानकारी दी। सोशल मीडिया फॉलोअर्स के साथ संडे संवाद प्लेटफॉर्म पर चर्चा के दौरान केंद्रीय मंत्री ने कहा कि टीकाकरण जल्द ही शुरू होने वाला है। उन्होंने बताया कि विशेषज्ञों का उच्च स्तरीय समूह एक फॉर्मेट तैयार कर रहा है जिसके तहत राज्य टीकाकरण को लेकर अपनी प्राथमिकता बताएंगे। इससे स्वास्थ्य सेवाओं से जुड़े लोगों को प्राथमिकता में रखने की बात कही गई है। इसमें सरकारी के साथ साथ निजी अस्पतालों के कर्मचारी, नर्स, पैरामेडिकल स्टाफ, सैनिटरी स्टाफ, आशा वर्कर, निगरानी अधिकारी और कोरोना मरीजों की टेस्टिंग व ट्रेसिंग से जुड़े लोग शामिल होंगे। राज्यों से ब्लॉक स्तर पर टीकाकरण पहुंचाने के लिए जरूरी कोल्ड चेन व अन्य इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर की जानकारी मांगी गई है। डॉक्टर हर्षवर्धन ने कहा कि महामारी रोकने के लिए एक खुराक वाला टीका निसंदेह बेहतर है, लेकिन अक्सर एक खुराक से पूरी सुरक्षा मिल पाना मुश्किल है। वैक्सीन की 2 खुराक वायरस से उचित सुरक्षा सुनिश्चित करेंगी। केंद्र सरकार 20 से 25 करोड़ लोगों तक 40 से 50 करोड़ टीका पहुंचाने के लिए मानव संसाधन, ट्रेनिंग व अन्य ज़रूरतों पर काम कर रही है। केंद्रीय मंत्री ने हाल ही में कहा कि 2021 की पहली तिमाही में देश कोरोना की वैक्सीन उपलब्ध हो जाएगी। सरकार इम्यूनिटी से जुड़े आंकड़ों पर भी लगातार निगाह बनाए हुए है। केंद्रीय मंत्री ने कहा कि सरकार यह सुनिश्चित करने के लिए दिन रात काम कर रही है कि टीके का उचित व समान वितरण हो। देश के प्रत्येक नागरिक को एक टीका पहुंचाना सरकार की सर्वोच्च प्राथमिकता है। नीति आयोग के सदस्य डॉक्टर पी.के. पॉल की अध्यक्षता में उच्च स्तरीय समिति पूरी प्रक्रिया पर अपनी निगरानी रख रही है ताकि सभी को वैक्सीन उपलब्ध हो सके। जानिए क्या कहा संडे संवाद में डॉक्टर हर्षवर्धन ने।
एडिशन ऑफ संडे संवाद। Once again, I would like to start by thanking you for sharing your questions, your love, and your enthusiasm towards this program. Friday, October 2nd, 2020 was the 151st birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi and also marked the 6th anniversary of Swachh Bharat Abhiyan launched by our beloved Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji. Mahatma Gandhi always valued cleanliness and sanitation. Sanitation, he had once said, is more important than independence. He wanted to see Bharat as Swachh, clean and cleansed. Whether it was Gandhiji or our religious texts, they taught us to always worship nature. But unfortunately, over the last few decades, we destroyed biodiversity and polluted the atmosphere. The outbreak of COVID-19 is also a catastrophe resulting from the abuse of nature. The pandemic has in fact given a warning to mankind, which is to stop abusing nature. Otherwise, there would be further destruction. That is why Gandhiji and his thrust on protection of nature and cleanliness becomes more and more relevant today, especially in the context of COVID-19 pandemic. In recent months, doctors, researchers, engineers, and scientists from all fields of knowledge around the world have worked together tirelessly to confront the coronavirus outbreak with an unprecedented spirit of collaboration. There is strength in numbers. We learn more and faster together, and the pandemic is underscoring the critical role of international collaboration on the frontiers of science and technology. Today, COVID 19 has not only raised the expectations we have of science, it has also accentuated the fact that global challenges require global solutions. The most significant need of the hour is to build a mass movement on safe hands, respiratory hygiene, and social distancing. We have to ensure that everyone follows the precautions, because if we break the chain of precautions, the disease will never get eliminated. I appeal to all of you to start building a mass movement on cleanliness and preventions that we need to take in respect of the pandemic. Without this, the future of mankind would be at stake. I hope you will all become a part of this exercise to follow and teach responsible behavior. And now, moving on to the questions I have received from some of you. The very first question, as usual, is on the COVID vaccine. Kriti Singh ji from Kolkata has asked, Sir, the whole world is waiting for the COVID vaccine with bated breath. India is a country of 1.4 billion people. We are all worried whether our government will be able to arrange such large doses of vaccine, whether we have trained people to administer these vaccines, whether we have the infrastructure to carry the vaccine to all parts of the country, and whether the government is working on a war footing on all these aspects. Kriti ji, I am so glad that you have raised this question, because it gives me the opportunity to assure this audience that our government is working round the clock to ensure that there is a fair and equitable distribution of vaccines once they are ready. Just like everywhere else in the world, our government's utmost priority is how to ensure vaccines for each and everybody in the country. There is a high-level expert body going into all aspects of the vaccine, including those that you have raised. Lists of citizen groups which will require vaccine administration on top priority are being drawn up by the Health Ministry in association with the state governments. For this, the ministry is currently preparing a format in which states will submit lists of priority population groups to receive vaccine, especially health workers engaged in the management of COVID-19. The list of frontline health workers includes both government as well as private sector doctors, nurses, paramedics, sanitary staff, ASHA workers, surveillance officers, and many other categories of frontline workers who are involved in tracing, testing, and treatment of patients. We have placed a realistic target of end October to complete this humongous exercise. States are being closely guided to also submit details about cold chain facilities and other related infrastructure, which will be required down to the block level. The center is also working on plans for building capacities in HR, training, supervision, etc. on a massive scale. Our rough estimate and target would be to receive and utilize 400 to 500 million doses, covering approximately 20 to 25 crore people by July 2021. All this is still under various stages of finalization. The government is also keeping an eye on immunity data with regard to COVID-19 disease. The second question in this episode is by Divakar ji, who is a huge Bollywood fan and is also a Kolkata Knight Riders supporter. He has asked, in the 1980s, Bangladesh and Nepal both had lower life expectancy in comparison with India. However, today these countries have surpassed India's average life expectancy. What is our government doing to ensure to improve this? Divakar ji, India's life expectancy at birth, like in the case of many other countries, has been improving steadily, and for the 2010-2014 period, it stands at 68 years. However, there is still a wide variation from one state to another in this regard. This variation between the best performing state and the worst performing state is almost 11 years in India. India's life expectancy has risen to 68.7 years as per the National Health Profile 2019. We must realize that life expectancy is not merely a health function, but is a rather composite social index which has its determinants that spread beyond the health sector. Moving on to the third question now. The third question is by Suraj Singh, whose Twitter profile says rain plus music plus chai is equal to happiness. Suraj ji, I couldn't agree more with you. There are very few things that come close to enjoying Darjeeling tea while listening to Jagjit and Chitra Singh ghazals when it's raining. Anyway, it is such a rare sight in Delhi where I live. Your question is whether there is scientific proof of immunity boosters protecting against novel coronavirus. I want to inform you, Suraj ji, that formulations labeled as immunity boosters have a comprehensive mechanism of action. Generally, such formulations trigger enhanced levels of favorable cytokines which indirectly lead to immunomodulation. However, these effects are broad and the exact role of such drugs is still not well understood. Coming to question number 4. गौरव महाजन जी केशवपुरम दिल्ली से पूछते हैं, माननीय स्वास्थ्य मंत्री जी, कोविड-19 के विषय में मार्गदर्शन चाहता हूं। सुना है विटामिन सी कोविड-19